Okay, follow up on a project that's been ongoing around here for a couple of, well, maybe 4 years now. Could be longer than that. If you have felt, if you're an AR nerd, and you have felt a great disturbance in the force, or maybe your, I don't know, maybe your pH is off, or maybe your mojo is not in line, or your chakras are all out of, you know, however chakras work, I don't even know. I'm gonna get off this joke. It's probably because I have done something that will likely, I don't really want to go on the gun forums and find out, will likely offend the AR gods. And so what we have done is we have mixed a BCM upper with a Daniel Defense lower, the double douche. So never had anything from Daniel Defense before. So how did this happen and why did it happen? Well, it starts with this gun, the integrally suppressed Gemtech Integra upper on a LMT lower, because I was just going to have one lower that was going to work for, you know, real training and, you know, high volume and, you know, shooting for performance gun. And I was going to have, you know, I could swap the uppers out. That's why, you know, we have this upper, which is a BCM key mod upper. Well, to get that integrally suppressed gun to work reliably, we had to upgrade the buffer to something called an H4, which is so heavy, I don't feel that it would reliably cycle with a regular, you know, just a regular, you know, DI just upper. So I kind of basically had to realize I'm going to have to get a second lower and, you know, pair it up to the key mod upper to make it work. So my goal was to try to duplicate that gun, since it's a training gun, basically have them be the same. And one of the big draws for that would be an SD-3G trigger from Geissele. I guess you got to show it on that side because maybe they don't put the G on both sides. There it is. So looking around on the internet with Kraken's help, Kraken is a big AR nerd. You know, we were looking at some Noveski stuff, but I realized there are people selling lowers with upgraded triggers in them. And so we found this Daniel Defense with the Geissele trigger in it and picked it up for what I thought was a reasonable price. There was going to have to be a couple things I have to modify on this. Even though this has the SD-3G trigger in it, it doesn't exactly match the other gun, because when you buy an SD-3G trigger, it comes with two springs. It comes with basically a heavy spring and a light spring. Well, I have the light spring in the other gun. This one has the heavy spring. Heavy is still like 4.5 pounds. So since we didn't get the trigger kit with this, I'm going to have to dig up a trigger. I guess I'm going to call Geissele to see if they'll sell me one or give me one, however that's going to work. Then we'll have to take it apart and install it. Also, this gun doesn't have the same kind of safety selector. This has a standard GI. It's an ambi selector, but it's the 90-degree selector. On the other gun, it's got a 45-degree. I think it's a Radian, if I remember. Again, I'm not really an AR nerd with like remembering brands, so we're going to have to replace that. Obviously, we'll keep the stock. No experience with these. This Daniel Defense stock, I've obviously, many of you have seen it. Never experienced it before, so I don't, unless for some reason this down here causes me problems. I don't know if I'm gonna hit the microphone, but it's pretty comfortable. It's probably messed up the audio on that, so I apologize. So it's pretty comfortable stock. I mean, I won't really know until we run it under, you know, on a timer under pressure. So yeah. Also, I guess because it's two-tone, while that probably bugs a lot of you folks out there, to me, it just makes it seem, it's easier to tell my AR from other dudes' ARs when everybody's shooting here, you know, because most of their guns are either all spray painted or they're all black, where this is kind of this mix and match, you know, I don't know what you'd call that, like a mix and match secondhand store prom dress. So, you know, it's obviously secondhand, you know, looks like a secondhand kind of Bubba thing. So no, I refuse to use the word build. This is my AR build. It's like, no, whatever. People that build ARs, when they come here to this range, they don't work. They're batting 1,000% on that. So yeah, it's just a basic gun. You know, we don't have the latest and greatest stuff. This is a key mod upper or key mod forend And we had gotten this from BCM. They were blowing them out. I think it was at a Christmas one year because all the cool kids were going to M-Lock and key mod was bad. And I have to admit that this key mod, like, it is so comfortable and it breathes so well as far as keeping the gun lightweight or keeping the gun cooler, which when you're running in heavy. I mean, I really like key mod. So no, I would never have any plans on changing that. I'll just, if I need to get a few pieces of key mod hardware, you know, I guess you can still get it. You know, we'll just do that. But so basically I have a full-time suppressed gun, and then I've got a regular, you know, standard DI gun, and we can go ahead and shoot drills and, you know, maybe hunt some coyotes at night with it. If you want to see any more stories or pictures or links to stuff like this, please go to our website at john1911.com. That's JOHN1911.com. Remember, it's all about shooting guns and having fun. Everybody, have a good day.